The problem with Duke is that they only let in 1,700 people out of the 54,000 to apply, which means that unless you get in, you're gatekept from the knowledge that can lead you to success in this world. So over the next 11 minutes, I'm going to teach you everything I learned at Duke, from the knowledge you need to succeed in any industry to the secrets behind building wealth that no one taught you. So if you just stick with me through this video, I'm going to try my hardest to save you 4 years of your life and $250,000. So let's get into it. So I'm going to explain 5 different things that I learned from Duke. Let's get into what successful people don't tell you. When it comes to the way that we think about the most successful people in the world, there's a term that gets thrown around a lot, especially in the US, self-made. But the thing is, not a single person is self-made. We're all products of our environment. And here's another thing. No one is born with superhuman abilities. The most successful people in the world are people who were good enough and in the right place at the right time. If you want to learn more about this concept, I encourage you to read Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, where he goes way more into it. So let's get into the first lessons. Working smart is better than working hard. Let's think about an example. Say there's a video editor, and every video they make, they look up the perfect B-roll, find new audio tracks, and find new assets like transitions and visual effects. They repeat this process anytime they edit a video, looking for these assets. Are they a hard worker? Sure. But now let's look at another video edit. They spend 4 hours up front one day to create an editing library, then use templates to edit videos in half the time. That's working smart. All that matters is the output. There's nothing noble in working twice as hard to get half of the results of someone who worked smarter than you. Passion is important, but success requires discipline. It requires working without motivation and putting in hours even when you're tired. Without consistency and discipline, it doesn't matter how hard you work. If you work hard, remember to leave some time for playing hard as well. Duke has a strong culture of work hard, play hard. Yes, the grind is where you need to put in most of your energy, what you're working towards each day for the future that you want, but it's not everything that life is about. Sometimes it's important to take a rest and recover, and it's nice sometimes to just enjoy the fun parts of life. You don't need to have it all figured out. It's okay to change, adapt, and pivot, but you do need a target, something to work towards, a goal. If there's nothing you're working towards, it makes it hard to work, which makes it hard to be successful. And this target doesn't need to be the thing you chase for the rest of your life. It can be a temporary goal. But knowing which direction you're going in is one of the keys to gaining control over your life. So let's get into exactly how to change your future so that you can become successful. Professional and personal development. The two are more linked than you think. The industry you want to work in affects how successful you can be. Someone who wants to become an investment banker is going to be making more than someone who wants to teach economics to high school students, especially early on in their careers. If success to you means making money, becoming financially secure, and creating a life free from the burden of poor finances, then you should be thinking about this carefully. Chasing your passions is fun, but passion can't buy you bread. Hard skills are the backbone of your career, but without soft skills, you'll never be successful. The key to personal and professional development is simple. You need to lean into your strengths, but make sure you are well-rounded. Most people are deficient in either one or both of these categories: hard technical skills or soft skills, the ability to pitch a producer at a party on a story you've been developing for 5 years, or the ability to sell a client into making a larger investment. But the thing is, without hard skills, soft skills are useless. If the script you pitch to a producer is terrible, it doesn't matter how charismatic you are. If you don't understand the finances, it doesn't matter how much money you can convince a client to give you. If you don't know how to practice law, it's going to be hard to convince a judge and jury, no matter how confident you are. Treat soft skills like hard skills. It's all about practice. There's beauty to being a generalist. Art, math, science, history, philosophy, literature. A ton of people online will tell you to niche down, that you need to pick one skill and then put all of your extra points and energy towards it. But I disagree. I think you need to explore. You're a human, not a machine. You should be able to split wood, enjoy the warm glow of the sun on a crisp morning, tell a story to an eager crowd, write a poem, enjoy a book, and cook a restaurant-quality meal. Think about it like a video game. Yes, you have one main skill that you need to put most of your points in, but you need to make sure you aren't bottlenecked by any of your weaknesses. Having general knowledge is a superpower, but you can only be great at so many things. That might sound like a contradiction, but it's not. If you want to become a master at something, it takes 10,000 hours, which means that if you want to be truly great, there's only so many things you can do. And this is a tough one. It's been a tough one for me especially. I have a lot of different interests, and so at points, I've wanted to be an actor, I've wanted to be a director, I've wanted to be an engineer, I wanted to be a writer, I wanted to be a producer, any number of different possible career paths. But for me, the thing I needed to do was focus and decide on one. And so that's what I'm doing. Focusing on too many things at once dilutes your attention. All right, next lesson. Getting an education is not the same as getting a job. There's a ton of value in formal education, but it doesn't all translate directly to corporate America. Lots of people complain about this. They say that colleges should teach more skills that are directly applicable to the workforce. And for sure, for some careers, that makes a lot of sense. But the functions of both are different. The function of an education is to learn more about the world, to connect interdisciplinary ideas, to learn how to think, how to ask questions, how to understand complex arguments. All of these are important. Philosophy, sociology, history, art, math, science, literature, linguistics. But it's hard to put this kind of abstract knowledge on a resume. Understand that education doesn't guarantee you a job. The secret to building wealth. To build real wealth, you should invest in yourself. Online, there are lots of people who will tell you that to build wealth, you need to invest in stocks and save a lot. That's largely true, but the biggest return on investment you could ever make is on yourself. What's the difference between a recent college graduate making $80K doing data entry and a professional data analyst who makes $300K a year? The data analyst has skills and experience the recent college grad doesn't have. You get paid well to do things that require specific skills that other people don't have. So make sure you're always growing and developing your skills, getting better. Next lesson. The world is a network. You are 7 degrees of connection away from anyone on the planet. The key to unlocking your future is to realize that the most powerful people in the world actually aren't that far away from you. In our digital world, there's a way to reach out to basically anybody. That means that no matter what you are trying to become successful at, there is someone who has probably already done it who you can reach out to. Maybe it's through a cold message on LinkedIn. Maybe it's through a friend of a friend. But there are people out there willing to provide mentorship and guidance. You just have to ask them. Time is more important than money. I used to think of my time in terms of money. It's easy when you're paid hourly. My first job straight out of college paid $20 an hour. So it was easy for me to price my time mentally at this position. It's easy to think then that the solution to making more money is to work more hours. But that's a mistake for obvious reasons. The first of which being that time truly is precious. When you're 20 making $20 an hour, is your time really less valuable than someone who is 60 making $20,000 a day? No, the person who is 60 would probably trade all the money they had to be 20 again. Every moment is precious, and when you understand why time is the most important resource you have, you realize you need to work smarter, not longer or harder. So that leads me into the final lesson. Lesson number 5, the mindset you need to succeed. Never underestimate the importance of your physical health. Your physical health is the backbone of who you are as a human. Don't think you can ignore it. Without sleep, your body will die. Without the right food, your body will die. Without exercise, your body will die. I know that's dramatic, but it's true. Anytime you stay up all night, then eat junk food while laying around all day, your body and brain begins to atrophy and your cells will start to literally die. If you want to become successful, understand the importance of your physical health. Competition is healthy, just make sure to not get envious. So Duke is incredibly competitive, and I actually think that competition can be pretty healthy. Competing with others is a ton of fun and incredibly valuable, but you need to make sure that it doesn't come from a bad source. If you find yourself getting jealous of the success of others, take a step back. The person you need to be competing with at the end of the day is yourself. Find good friends, then support them. One of the most valuable lessons I learned at Duke was the power of community. As humans, we weren't built to be alone. The idea of the lone wolf who accomplishes everything by themselves is a myth. If you want to do anything great in this world, you need other people. So go out and find great friends, then support them. Fear is usually what holds you back. This is the biggest roadblock to achieving success, and it's what holds most people back from achieving their dreams. But I think the final thing that you have to develop with your mindset is that failure, I know this is super cliche, but it's unavoidable, right? And I'm not saying that you should go out and try to fail, but what I'm saying is that failure isn't something that you need to fear. I hope that this video was somewhat useful. You can let me know in the comments, but I really did try to sort of distill down a lot of life lessons that I learned and that I'm going to try and carry with me for the rest of my life. If you happen to be in high school and you're interested in going to a school like Duke, I actually made a video about how to get into good schools, so you can check that out here. Or if you're interested in YouTube, the creator economy, films, movies, the future of media, that's most of what I've been making and most of what I'm going to be making in the future. I know that's not really related to the video you just watched, but you can check that out here if you happen to be interested in it. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.